Hello, my name is Fabio Perry. This is the 83rd episode of BPerryFilms Podcast. On today's episode, I will share my one-year experience using the Cécred Haircare line by Beyonce and her amazing team. If you have seen some of my videos over the past year, I shared my initial thoughts on the line that was created, and I created tutorials on various products that I use. And now I have used all the products and tools for a while now. I can provide a walkthrough guide on each product and how they should be incorporated them into your bi-weekly wash day routine. For from hair products to tools, I recommend giving it a try if you have the funds in your pocket for quality products for your hair needs. Right. Please keep in mind that these products don't work equally effective on all hair textures. My results won't be the same as the next person, so be mindful when obtaining these products. I plan to review each item, highlighting the key features and providing my rating, and also point out I plan to review each item, highlighting the key features and providing my rating. I want I will also point out how much product you should use so you don't waste any product and overspend on these really premium price products, because the range is between $31 to about $56, and that's not including tax. So why Cécred? So actually, let me start with what is Cécred. So Cécred takes on the play on words of Beyonce's name and also the word sacred, which means to keep what is like personal to you. And for most people like myself, hair is like my go-to, and keeping it protected and healthy is my mainstream of keeping it healthy, long, and shiny, like you can see on the screen. So, what is Cécred? Basically, it's a play on Beyonce's name, what to say, and also the word sacred, where you keep it personal to you. Like I had mentioned, that hair is something that has always been a part of my life. I used to have waist length hair back when I was younger, and I had so many different haircuts, different braids, and I just started experimenting over this past year, working with a new hairstylist on different ways to style my hair, and I get a lot of compliments. But what I appreciate about this line is that this gets people who were very secretive about their hair, whether they wear extensions, wigs, and any of the sort, to kind of say we're relatable too. We wear these pieces time to time, but we do wear our natural hair in its natural state, whether it's straight hair, wavy hair, coiled hair, or somewhere in between, because people can have multiple textures of hair. So it's great that there's a line that caters to many of those hair types, even though that I don't agree that companies say it works on all hair types, when we can see in demonstration that it doesn't always work on all hair types. And I want this video to be positive and just critiquing what I think these products will be and what I think the outcome will be. And I'm actually going to send this video to Cécred, and hopefully they take light of my video and maybe take on some of the suggestions that I point out, and also some of the highlights that I do love about the products. And I've been screaming for this product for the past 10 years. You can ask my best friends and all that. I always wondered, what products is she using? Is it just Olaplex? Because, she has blonde hair, and most celebrities use Olaplex. And it's nice that she's bringing back traditions of like Asian cultures, Black cultures, and different other cultures together, and treating the hair from where it first started. And I love that it's called the Foundation Collection, because people are so quick to throw on a weave or a wig and neglect the hair, leaving it to fall out. And people always wonder how much shedding that they have. Everything's on the floor. Their hair's unhealthy because it didn't trim, and all those things. And I think it's important to have a good team to help you structure this. So I want to break down the team. So I did take some notes. just to make sure that I got everyone's name right. So Beyonce is the founder of the company, and she actually finances the company, but she's not the CEO. The CEO is Grace Ray, and I have my notes up here because I want to highlight many of her accomplishments. Because, you know, most Asians are very structured and they have great resources when it comes to growing out the hair. And I think there's a country that has the most longest hair than any other person in the Guinness World Records. So it's just great to find resources for people who have long and strong hair. But about Grace Ray, she is the CEO of Cécred. She also worked as CEO as Milani Cosmetic, a popular brand, Living Proof, Arlo Labs, and Smash Cosmetic, and everyone knows L'Oreal. She has held many positions, and I think having a leader such as her that has a lot of experience is definitely recommended. The next person I would like to go on to is Dr. Carey. She's a trichologist, and that's something that I want to study because I want to focus on treating people's scalps, and I also am taking on braiding as well. If you've been following my hair care journey on YouTube, along with me announcing that I'm getting into cosmetology, that hair has always been a very vital part of my lifestyle and part of my identity. So cutting it feels like I'm losing a piece of myself. Um, but growing it back long and healthy is definitely something that I recommend for everyone to do if you can. All hair grows. It's just maintaining a length could be a struggle for most people, depending on how you treat it. But as long as you follow the steps that are provided and find products that work for you, it will work really great. I'm a person that spent a lot of money on hair products. I used As I Am before. I used Olaplex, Suave, and just naming a few brands, Retrice, and more. And as I got older, the more expensive the products I seemed to be getting to fit my lifestyle. But anyways, Dr. Carey is the director of education. What I love about her, and she actually convinced me to use the line because the way that she delivers the content and letting people know about the different ingredients that are included, I think it's in the hair care line. I think it's important for us to understand storytelling, how everything is supposed to be used, and following instructions. Because I know people like to use more than they need to, wasting product, I like to say, or keeping it a little bit longer because they think it will enhance the treatment experience a lot more. And that's just a myth right there. People think too much protein is not good for the hair and not enough moisture. I think too much moisture, too much protein can damage the hair, and not having enough can also damage the hair. So, actually balancing them out is very important. And I'm a person who dealt with heat damage. My story is that I always had long hair, and a stylist had did my hair, and she fried my hair with a blow dryer and damaged my scalp. So for the first year, actually, my cousin had told me, she said that your hair is shedding like crazy. And for that year, my hair kept breaking, and we found out that it wasn't just the strands and that it was the scalp. So I focused on finding different routines of protein that will work best for my lifestyle. I didn't want to do eggs and mayonnaise because of the smell. I found something that worked for me. It might not work for everyone else, but eventually I'll share that. But I use it every wash day, and it was basically a protein treatment that helped repair my hair from the scalp to the strands. So as the years progressed, um, we started trimming the hair a lot more. I went from having 16 inches of hair in the front to cutting it to about 3 inches. So getting it to blend really well was very challenging. Just imagine you're washing your hair and it's just bone straight, or when you're trying to braid your hair, you're looking like alfalfa because the hair would not want to stay in the braids. So that was like a real moment for me. So I started taking the hair care journey even more serious than I was before because I'm just like, I can't walk around on stage with broken pieces of hair. So people ask me all the time, why do I keep my hair braided? One, because I kept getting tired of people asking if it was extensions. And also another fact of I prefer braids because I work out a lot and it gets exhausting having to redo your hair every single day for every single event. So it was great for long lasting for at least 2 weeks at a time because I like to keep my hair nice and clean. I do not like having an oily scalp. And that's something that's a big turnoff for me. Why I supported this brand is, oh wait, I forgot. So the next person on the list is Miss Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom. She's the co-chair, and she had a hair salon for an extended period of time, and she's known for doing Destiny's Child hair and all the different looks, and whether it's with fashion or even with the hair, they were trendsetters back then, and it just gave me an opportunity to think, okay, these people are doing really well. Them collaborating together makes a solid foundation. So right off the bat, I trusted the brand, but I wanted to see how it performed on other people's hair. And I don't think having 35 people just testing out the product works on a wide range of hair because everyone's hair different. Just like how Grace had mentioned in the Ulta video. Um, but yeah, I I noticed that one thing that we always looked at was Beyonce's hair. So we wanted to know all the secrets that she does to maintain her hair. She's had different traumas, whether it's psoriasis, broken hair from bleaching, having to trim, all these different factors that might be going on with her scalp that we just now coming in to finding out about. And we appreciate her for being open about that and letting people know that she wears extensions, wigs, and all those other things, just like everyone else. So at some point, I think we shouldn't be involved in what other people are doing with their hair, whether or not they use the products or not on their own hair. I don't think it's anyone's business, but that's just me saying it. But I have the products right here, and I want to go through each one. I'm going to insert some clips, past videos and new videos going through each product and giving my rating, the price, what I like about the products, and how does it make you feel, and the smell. So I want to start out with the clarifying shampoo and self scrub. And believe it or not, I actually started out with the travel size of everything because I wanted to see how it performed. I wanted to test out everything right before I do the full commitment of paying, what was it, $200, $300 on the whole line. And I wanted to see what the main products that they were going to be using. And the main ingredient is bioactive ferment, which is in all their products. Well, just about every product, and it contains honey, so it's not vegan. I know a lot of people get confused when it comes to that, but bees are living creatures, so that's not vegan. So just to point that out. But anyways, I love this. I fell in love with the smell because it smells like my breath. Very minty, and you can feel some beads in it, and it has a nice texture. I'm gonna insert a clip, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So as you can see, I put a little bit on my finger. It has a nice texture to it. It has these little beads on it, and that's the foliate. So your hair can get cleansed, and it doesn't strip the hair. It just makes it feel really clean. And you can apply this to dry hair, and to activate it fully is by wetting it, and it starts to suds. So when people say, oh, this doesn't suds, I don't think it's supposed to suds that much, and that doesn't determine how clean your hair is going to be. Because you can put this whole bottle on your hair, it's going to suds. But is your hair clean? Are you focused on the scalp? And a lot of people neglect their scalps. So I think it's important to start out with this for every wash day. I wash my hair every 2 weeks. One, because I have curly hair, type 3 hair, as you have seen in multiple videos. And for my texture, it loves moisture and it likes being clean. And it likes getting washed. My hair just loves water, and that's the main thing that grew my hair from all the damage that I accrued. But I love this product a lot. Make sure that you saturate it in the scalp completely. It has this nozzle right here where you can apply directly to your scalp, which I think is cool. And then I also put 2/4 size in. But if I'm applying to the scalp, I just do 1/4 size my hand, and I make sure I get into the scalp, and then also to the strands. And I do mention that in some of my videos. I always apply from the scalp to the roots. The next thing that I use is a hydrating shampoo. I use this, and it has the Temple Oud smell. Cécred's main smell. And I love it a lot. I fell in love with the smell, and like I said, it made me want to keep experimenting with this product even more. It convinced me enough that I had to get it in a bigger size. But I got this, and I do 2/4 size for each wash, and I do a double cleanse with this, so basically 4/4 size. And believe it or not, I have this for a year now, so about 26 or 28 washes, and plus I do my mannequin's hair as well. Shout out to Tiffany and Cookie. I have about this much product left after that many washes. So that tells you that this is really good quality, and it saturates really well, and you don't need to apply a lot. And I don't want to waste any product on this one because I'm almost finished and I gotta refill. The next one is a hydrating shampoo. I'm grateful. I am grateful that they came up with this one because my wash day was becoming a whole hour using all the whole line. But this shortened up my wash day to 15 minutes because you just apply this in and you just leave it in for a minute and then you wash it out. And I just love it. And you can use it as a pre-poo, so right before you wash. And you can also put this in a little squirt of this in some water and shake it up. And you can rehydrate your hair every so often if it feels dry because, sometimes people have protective styles for a long time. And it also has a Temple Oud smell. So next, I want to go into the protein treatments. So this is a rice and rose ferment treatment. Let me make sure I get it right. Fermented rice and rose treatment ritual. So looking at these products right here, they come, well, let me go through the price. So the soft scrub was $38. The hydrating shampoo was $31. And then the hydrating conditioner is $31. And then I want to go into the fermented and rice rolls treatment. So it comes in just like this. You have the rice powder. The smell is okay. It smells better than regular rice water and it's instant. Usually with rice water, you leave it in a bowl and let it ferment for about 3 days, and the smell is awful. Let me tell you. But I wanted to experiment with this because I never did a rice water treatment. But it's good for hydrating my hair and making it strong because I want to focus more on length retention. And that was my main focus on this line. So you get the shaken vessel, you pour this in, you put in 24 ounces. So about, if you have a Poland Spring bottle or Aquafina, just fill it up to 16 ounces and then do a refill of half. And then it should fill it up to about right here. And then you're going to shake it up just like this and let it sit while you're washing your hair and doing all the things before this step. Just let it sit, but I would shake it up for at least a minute. Make sure that the powder goes clear. And then you're going to apply it to your scalp. So I usually use maybe like that much and applying to the scalp. And then I start moving to the strands, going straight down. Your arm will definitely get a workout with this because you're probably going to be pumping for at least a minute. But I recommend using the applicator so you make sure that you get all the strands and you're not wasting any product, because it's good for making sure that your hair is strong. Your hair is going to stiffen up a little bit. The first time I used this is my last treatment, you guys, so I got to get a refill of this. But what I like about it the first time is that my hair went stiff and the water actually stopped moving. And I was in shock. I was just like, what type of science is this? And it got me intrigued. And I left it in for 15 minutes. It says no, don't leave it any longer than 15 minutes, but at least 5. But if I have a good amount of time throughout my day between uninstalling my braids while loosening my braids and getting ready for the wash, and I have a whole hour and a half, I don't mind doing this for 15 minutes. Then you go into the silk rinse. I know some people complain about it being really small, and believe it or not, people might be applying it very wrong. So that's why that is not working for them as well. But I try to split it up into 4 sections, basically. So I focus on the scalp first, and then I focus on the back of the hair, and then the front of the hair, and then the roots to the tip. And then sometimes I have extra product and I make sure that I go through it thoroughly to make sure I got everything saturated. And I leave this in for 5 minutes and I rinse it out with cold water. So, like I said, you use this for 5 to 15 minutes at best, no longer. Rinse it out. Make sure that the water's clear and make sure it doesn't get into your eye because it will sting. Move on to this. Leave it in for 5 minutes. Rinse out with cool water. So that's those products right there, and that's valued at $56, so about $13. About $13. About $13 per treatment, and it comes with 2. So step 1 and step 2, and make sure that you follow the instructions that it says on the box. The next treatment is a reconstruction treatment mask. I had this in travel size, and I decided, okay, let me get the bigger one. I haven't opened this one up yet, but it has a nice simple oud smell, and this contains mainly of their patented treatment of the bioferment. And I love it so much because this is good for after a silk press or after you treated your hair with color or a relaxer, texturizer, whatever that you do. This is going to repair the bonds that were broken during those treatments. And it works really well. You do not have to use a lot of product. I recommend maybe a quarter size and saturate it through the hair. Make sure that you're applying these where your hair wet. Okay? And like I said, you would pick one or the other for the rice water ritual or the treatment mats. So if you're about to get a silk press like I did, do the rice water first. And then after you're done with your silk press, I do keep my hair straight for maybe like 2.5, 3 weeks. I work very hard maintaining it straight. But after that, I'm going to be using this. And it's going to revert my hair back to being its S curls. And it works really well. When I first tried this out, I didn't really like it. Maybe we applied it wrong. But I noticed that we didn't apply heat the first time. But when we tried it the second time, it worked really well. It left my hair really soft, not crunchy or anything. And I love it. One of my favorite products right here is a moisturizing deep conditioner. I use this after every protein treatment because my hair loves moisture. Your hair talks. Like if my hair feels brittle, I know I need to put some protein into it. But sometimes my scalp feels really itchy or it feels like it really needs some extra moisture, extra boost. You're going to put this in for 30 minutes. You're going to apply heat. So if you have a heating cap, I'll put some links in the description box of the ones that I use if you don't have access to a dryer or anything, which most people don't in their house. But leave this in no longer than 30 minutes, and you only need a quarter size. I keep seeing people apply this on dry hair or very minimal water in hair, but your hair needs to be fully wet. Apply some water into the quarter size that you have in your hand. Work it through the scalp and through the strands. You do not need more than a quarter size or 2/4, depending on how long your hair is. And this will last you a long time. This product right here is retailed for $38. And this product right here is retailed for $43. So keep that in mind. For extra hydration, put this on. For extra protein and nourishment, put this in. Love these products to death. This is a product that I use every single wash day. And believe it or not, I've been using this travel size since I first got it. And I'm only using this much product. And I've been able to successfully have about 26 washes along with doing my mannequin's hair. So a little goes a long ways. And this is the travel size, 2.5 ounces. So keep in mind, a little goes a long ways, and I only put a quarter size on here, if not less. And you would apply that to damp hair after you do your deep condition. And that's your styler. The Moisture Sailing Lotion retails for, let me see, I believe $38 or $39. I can't remember off the top of my head. So here's one of my favorite products. I fell in love with this product since day one. I apply this product every other day because I don't want my hair really oily. But this is a light oil. I started out with the travel size, which is $22. It's, I think, 0.7 ounces, and it lasted me for about 5 to 6 months. And I've been using this one, the larger size, which is retailed for $44. I've been using this one for 6 months, and I only use this much product. So this could last me for about 8 or 9 months if I keep using it the way that I do. And you only need about 2 to 3 dabs and saturate it through your strands, or if you have braids, apply it to your scalp and your strands at the end. And everything saturates well. And this is made out of glass, so keep in mind that you can break this very easily. Here is the most viral product that I see on TikTok. People are going crazy over the edge drops. So I just been experimenting with this for the past 6 months. I'm secretly using this while it's out now. But I originally got this for someone, and I did a giveaway as well. And I wanted to repair their hair, and I do take on some clients on like washing and doing treatments on their hair. And I wanted to recommend this to someone who is experiencing hair loss, thinning. This could also be the cure for men's baldness and also women that are facing alopecia because of the pandemic of it. So what got me into this, which is retailed for uh, $56, about $60 after taxes. Um, I was intrigued by the color, and you apply it to your edges. So if your hair is like really curly, your hair will revert. I'm not sure about everyone else, but if your hair is really curly or really wavy, if you're applying it to your strands or in between sections of your hair won't hold the straightness, especially applying this every day. But I recommend for people to make it last longer, apply it every other day. To make it last longer because it's going off the shelves or a mixture of scarcity marketing. where brands will make it seem like it's in demand while they stock maybe like 10 or 12 bottles of these in each store, and they'll go like, oh, these are going like crazy, you gotta go get some. And people want something that they can't get access to even more. But eventually that'll die out. But you would massage this into your scalp, and it's a good product. Some people will get results a lot faster than others, but there are some people that over exaggerate where they're mixing their hairline with actual strands in the back of the head, like pulling out strands like this, and this is not part of your edges. Just throwing that out there. But give it some time. I recommend getting at least 2 bottles of these if you can. But keep in mind that everyone's progress will be different, and your hair only goes half an inch each month. So when you're talking about your edges, something that you apply a lot of edge control and greases and stuff to, expect it to take a little bit longer because you're covering the exfoliates and the exposure to your scalp when you're applying different oils and treatments to your scalp while applying this. So just be mindful. It doesn't matter how often that you use this. Your hair will grow at its normal pace, but at least this will help you start growing hair in areas that you may not have had before or lost through pregnancy, through traumas, or birthmarks, or anything like that. And like I said, it retails for $56, and just keep that in mind. But yeah, when you get access to it, make sure that you keep it safe because this is actually made out of glass. I did not know it was made out of glass. And people are dropping and people are losing a lot of money, and you want to make sure it lasts at least for a month and a half to 2 months. And focus on your problem area first on the first bottle. And then when you get your second bottle, you can work it everywhere else if you need to. So marketing through these products of how I like it and what I don't like about it is I really love this line. Does it cater to all hair types? And I don't want to be treated like Brittany Rose because she's young. I love her to death. She tests out different products and she has her own hair care line. And people verbally and abusively attacked her just because it didn't work on her hair type. And as we've seen in the videos, it just didn't work for her compared to other lines that worked effectively to hers. And everyone has different hair types. Like I said, I have type 3 hair. So these products would definitely cater to my hair. Definitely curly or wavy hair, it would work too. But tightly coily hair, it just varies on how coarse your hair is and if it's able to absorb the products because sometimes products just sit there and sometimes they can get moldy if it's not applied correctly and removed correctly. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, the price range for the products range between $31 to $56, and that's not including tax. And you might get better deals if you do bundles or if you do buy the whole line all in total. So next, I'm going to go into the tools. So everybody knows that there's tools out. I got this as a bundle. I didn't want to pay for everything separate, but I knew I wanted a new brush and I wanted a Y2 coat. So I was just like, I'm already paying this much, so I might as well finish and get it for a cheaper price because it was almost at that amount. So you can get this all for $90. And I'll put the links in the description and hopefully I can give you like an affiliate link so you can get some discounts and stuff. But I like the powder brush. This is good for detangling your hair, especially getting ready for wash day. And so I like the Prado brush because you can use this on wet hair or dry hair. And it's good for detangling. And I think of this as the unbrushed, just a bigger version. And also with this keyhole. You can hang up all your products all together if you want, which I think is very unique and innovative. So just hang this up somewhere. But I keep everything in a box. and I always clean my products after use, just for hygiene reasons and sanitation, because you don't want to apply dirty products into your clean hair. So yeah, you would just brush through your strands like normal and go from tips to the scalp so you don't have to worry about breakage. Do it that way. Don't do it from the scalp to the roots because you might be yanking out your strands. But yeah, I like this product a lot, and it's good for distributing products like the deep conditioner. Get it through all those strands. Make sure that everything is hydrated. The next product that I use on a regular when I have my hair out and when I'm detangling is the white tooth comb. I do notice less breakage and less strands coming out when I'm using this because it's wider. And I love this product a lot because it keeps my strands intact, especially sometimes when I have my hair straight. You gotta keep it together, not look frizzy and wild all over the place. So this is also good for distributing products, and also if you're trying to do braids, you can part, or if you're doing a sleek design, it has a parting portion right here. Another product that I use on a regular is parting tail comb. I use this for getting through my braids, especially when they're small, and it just eases up the pain of having to use your fingers because they're probably thick compared to your small braids, especially when I have my singles or my twists. Great for saving time. And then this is also good for chasing when you do your silk press, and it can withstand heat up to 450 degrees. So this is good. I also use this on wash day to distribute product through my strands, definitely during the Cécred and using the deep conditioner. And you can also use this as a pick. So if you want to add some volume to your hair, like Jersey hair, good for that. If you want to do an afro, good for that. If you want to have make your hair look more thicker, this is your product. Like I said, it has the little ring so you can hang it up. So I like these products a lot. And even though they cost a good penny, they work really well. Like I said, I always recommend people to get the bundles if you can. And as I walk through all these different prices, everything is cheaper in the travel size. Don't buy the full bottles until you try the travel size to make sure that you like it, because one person's hair is different from the next person's hair. And everybody will respond to each product differently. So, when it comes to pricing, is it expensive? Is it affordable? Where does it fall? I think this is about average for maybe a celebrity hair care line or a salon quality. Like Olaplex starts at around $30. So they're around that price point, but they've been around for decades. So it's kind of justified and everybody uses it. And like most celebrities use that line. But I would say the price could go down a little bit, maybe by $5, but they could be charging based off of packaging, um, well, the design of it. And it does remind me of another hair care line that's in red. I think it's called Briogero, where they have the same look, aesthetic, but I think the bottles look really nice. I like the texture of everything because your main concern with packaging is that you don't want it slipping out of your hand when you're washing your hair. So it's a good amount of plastic and good enough of matte finish to it to make sure that you know that it's in your hand. And each product feels different. And I like the design. The only two that look the same is the treatments, the reconstructing treatment mask, and the deep conditioner. Those are the only two that look the same except for the color. So sometimes it's easy to get those confused. Um, so yeah, for a quick wash day, I would use the soft scrub, the hydrating shampoo, the hydrating conditioner, and then the moisturizing lotion, and then the hair oil every other day. And the every other day that I'm not using the hair oil, I would use the re- restoring hair and edge drops every other day just to make the product last a little bit longer. But that's my pro tip. You don't have to follow my instructions, but I recommend that. But when I need some extra care and extra need, self scrub, hydrating shampoo, one of the treatments, whether it's the fermented rice and rose ritual or the reconstructing treatment mask. So, like before silk press, after silk press, after a color, before the color. Yeah. But I wouldn't use them both together, but some people do, but that's up to you. And then follow up with a moist and saline lotion after every wash to make sure that all the moisture stays intact and keep your hair hydrated. Everyone wonders how I keep my hair curly when I have it out. Um, Natural texture is curly, but I make sure I keep my hair hydrated and fresh. So I try to use a bare minimum, and the main ingredient that I love to use is water. If water's not on the list, I'm not getting it. The nourishing hair oil, like I said, and then the hair and head drops. I would use everything in that order, and that long wash would probably be about an hour because you're leaving in the treatments for 15 minutes, 5 minutes, then about 20, 30 minutes. So that can eat up your day. So be mindful of what treatment that you decide to do or your hair regimen. But if you want a quick wash routine, like I said, use the first method that I offered, that I told you. So yeah, I love the hair care line a lot. Like I said, be mindful that these products may not work on every hair type. They try to cater to every hair type, but everybody has different needs. And most hair companies focus on what is the owner's issue with their hair. Or what are the people that they use around them's hair issues are. And they try to find people with similar or somewhat different problems and they just study them. But having a hair care line is very extensive, very overwhelming, a lot of steps that go into it. That's why it takes so many years, so many patents, and all that. But I definitely want to go to the Cécred salon, see the lab, get to meet the group. I think the marketing team is amazing. And we just need to keep in mind that this is a small business and it's a startup. So they're doing well so far, I believe. I think my only comment when it comes to the line going with Ulta is that I feel from watching many of the videos that most of the stylists aren't really trained as well using Cécred, unlike Olaplex that they've been using for years. But I think once they master how to use the products and using it on different textures hair, people will reinvest into their company and spend their money because people will only buy into a positive experience. Who is this product for? I think people who have chemically treated hair, people who have curly hair, wavy hair. Most products do work on straight hair. Um, I think it works for them, but the tighter the coil, the harder it becomes because there's not much education on type 4 hair. And there's different spectrums of type 4. There's type A, type B, type C. Most of these people that say that they're type 4, they could be in the spectrum of type 4A, 4B. So don't just stigmatize yourself because you see other people saying type 4C. You know, there's different hair types, there's different porosities, different traumas, different experiences. People's hair grows at a different rate from each other. So just be willing to experiment and understand what these products are really mainly used for. So, rating these products, I definitely love them. The self scrub and the hydrating shampoo, I recommend getting them together. They are a solid 10 when they're applied together. I don't know what I will rate them separately because I never use them separately. Hydrating conditioner, maybe a 8.5 out of 10 because I don't really use it that often. But it does make my day go a lot faster. I want them to keep the formula the same, and I love it. The moisturizing deep conditioner, I love it to death, 10 out of 10. The price is definitely justified because it doesn't take that. You're not going to use that much product within a year. So the price structure is not too bad for me. Where it gets more expensive is when we get to the fermented rice and rose protein treatment. If you just break it down into months, you'll see that it's actually justified. But if it doesn't work for you, then it might be a waste of money. But I think it's definitely worth it. And I've seen a lot of growth. I haven't used it long enough to see if breakage has decreased a lot, but I noticed that shedding is a lot less. Before I would have like a big ball of hair like this, and now it's about this, which is a big transformation after I wash it. But keep in mind that your strands shed about 45 to 70 strands per day, and that could be from manipulation, from brushing, combing, keeping it in tight style in its resting stage, and the hair might release. And plus, keeping it in the same style for weeks at a time, you're going to get more strands, so don't be concerned. The reconstruction treatment mask, $43. Like I said, it has their patent technology in it, and it's supposed to repair your hair. You don't have to use as much as these people are using in their videos, but it works really well. Love it. Once I figured out how to use it correctly, and definitely apply heat because we didn't apply heat the first time. We just put on a cap because we didn't want to. I didn't want to experience heat damage from going back and forth on the dryer. Moisture sealing lotion, 10 out of 10. Love it. Lasts a long time. Like like I said, the small bottle. It's been a year. I've been using it since the beginning, and I'm not even done with the bottle. But I'm saving that for when I do travel. But I'm gonna start using this one pretty soon. Hair oil, love it. Stop wasting so much product. You only need 2 to 3 dabs. Everything else will just make your hair really stiff. It might look shiny, but your hair's not going to whip in the wind. It's going to be really stiff. So keep that in mind. The hair restoring and edge drops. I do have a question mark on it. How long that we have to keep using it? Is this a lifetime commitment? Because if so, a lot of people aren't going to be using this more than 6 months. I think people are going to quit after that. Also, if their hair starts falling out, but that's another concern that people may be having. I did see some comments online. So I would want you guys to like just review through it and maybe make a separate video showing people that stop using it, or let us know if this is going to be a 6 month thing. Is it just to get the hair to start growing, or is this to maintain your hair? Like I said, let people know before they start applying it everywhere in their hair. And then they wake up one day and their hair is on the pillow. But the price, definitely expensive considering that you have to keep doing it every month for people that use it all the time. And I'm still on my first bottle. Like I said, I don't apply it every day. I just put it in little sections. And it's too early for me to see results. Plus, my strands grow really straight. So, and then it gets curly. So it's kind of hard for people who have straight roots versus someone who has curly roots to see results. But that's just my thought. But yeah, the whole line is very great. I love it. I'm taking on cosmetology, so I definitely want to be a part of your program and learn about how I can help out my clients the best way that I can, because my main focus is repairing people's scalps. I definitely want to become a trichologist because I feel like people aren't paying enough attention to their hair health and more on the short term of this looks good for right now versus the long term of how it can affect them in the long term, like I said. But Cécred, definitely reach out to me. Hopefully this video was really helpful, and I hope you all enjoy this, and I hope you all have a fantastic day, and thank you.